Welcome to this audiobook summary of Daring Greatly by Brené Brown. In this book, Brown explores the importance of vulnerability and how embracing it can lead to a more meaningful and connected life. She challenges the notion that vulnerability is a weakness and instead shows us how it is a source of strength and courage. Daring Greatly encourages us to take risks, embrace uncertainty, and live wholeheartedly. Let's dive into the key lessons from Daring Greatly and how they can transform the way we live and connect with others. What is vulnerability? At the core of Daring Greatly is the idea of vulnerability. Brené Brown defines vulnerability as uncertainty, risk, and emotional exposure. It's the feeling we get when we step out of our comfort zones, whether in relationships, work, or creativity. Often, we avoid being vulnerable because we fear rejection, failure, or judgment. However, Brown argues that vulnerability is not a weakness. In fact, it's the opposite. Vulnerability is the birthplace of courage, innovation, and meaningful connections. When we dare to be vulnerable, we open ourselves up to new experiences, deeper relationships, and personal growth. The fear of not being enough. One of the biggest barriers to vulnerability is shame. Shame is the voice inside our heads that tells us we're not good enough, smart enough, or successful enough. It's the fear that if people really knew us, they wouldn't accept us. Brown explains that shame thrives in secrecy. The more we hide our feelings of shame, the more power it has over us. But when we talk about our shame with others and express our vulnerabilities, we can break free from its grip. The key is to replace shame with self-compassion, treating ourselves with the same kindness we would offer a friend. Wholehearted living. Brown introduces the idea of wholehearted living, which means embracing life with openness, courage, and vulnerability. Wholehearted people live with a sense of worthiness, believing they are enough just as they are. They don't wait until they've achieved perfection to feel worthy of love and belonging. To live wholeheartedly, we need to let go of perfectionism and the need for approval from others. Instead, we should embrace imperfection and the messiness of life. Daring greatly means showing up, being seen, and letting ourselves be vulnerable, even when the outcome is uncertain. The importance of connection. Another major theme in Daring Greatly is the importance of connection. Brown explains that humans are wired for connection. We need relationships and a sense of belonging to thrive. However, true connection requires vulnerability. When we put up walls to protect ourselves from getting hurt, we also block out the possibility of forming deep, meaningful connections. Brown encourages us to show up authentically in our relationships, even if it means risking rejection or judgment. By daring to be vulnerable, we allow others to see us for who we really are, and this opens the door to stronger, more genuine connections. The arena metaphor. One of the most powerful metaphors in Daring Greatly is the idea of stepping into the arena. Brown uses this metaphor to describe the act of showing up and daring to take risks, even when we might fail or be criticized. The arena is any situation where we put ourselves out there, whether it's sharing a new idea at work, starting a new project, or expressing our feelings in a relationship. In the arena, we will inevitably face criticism and setbacks. But Brown reminds us that what matters most is that we dare to try. The people who criticize us from the sidelines are not the ones who count. What counts is that we are brave enough to show up and be seen. Letting go of scarcity. Another concept Brown discusses is scarcity thinking, the belief that we are never enough or don't have enough. We often approach life with a mindset of lack, whether it's not having enough time, money, or success. This mindset can keep us from being vulnerable because we are constantly striving to prove ourselves. Brown encourages us to shift from scarcity to gratitude. When we focus on what we have, rather than what we lack, we can live more fully and dare greatly. By practicing gratitude and acknowledging our worth, we can overcome the fear of not being enough. Conclusion: the power of vulnerability. In Daring Greatly, Brené Brown shows us that vulnerability is not something to be avoided, but embraced. By daring to be vulnerable, we allow ourselves to live more fully, connect more deeply with others, and pursue our goals with courage. It's through vulnerability that we discover our true strength. Thank you for listening to this audiobook summary of Daring Greatly. We hope this has inspired you to take more risks, embrace uncertainty, and live with greater courage and authenticity. If you enjoyed this summary, be sure to subscribe for more insights from powerful books like this one. Stay tuned for more.